Beekeeper bringing the action flow. Late night with the devil gives us a fright. Wild boy kills world, keeps the chaos tight. The ministry fights with warfare ungentled. The wild robot's heart is so sentimental. Kingdom of the apes heralds purple crayon. Furiosa rides strong, her legacy staying. All the best and worst of 2024. 70 films we've got to explore. Some made us cheer, some made us groan. Let's count them down in this podcast zone. Wolf's and Gary Gromit's vengeance unfolds. Thelma's story's one for the bold. Saturday night and Casa Bonita. Abigail's tale's a soulful bonita. The house from gives chills, piece by piece we learn. Dear Santa's letters, the killer's sharp turn. Here and Venom, Sonic speeds by. Twisters whirl, Romulus in the sky. Oh, the best and worst of 2024. 70 films we've got to explore. Some made us cheer, some made us groan. Let's count them down in this podcast zone. Lisa Frankenstein's quirky and strange. Craven hunts while villains exchange. Quiet Place shakes, Sopranos grow. Despicable Me brings a comedy flow. Smile 2 creeps, the substance intrigues. Sting and Maxine push past fatigue. Red One's mission, Fall Guy's feet. Godzilla X-Com's world at their feet. Oh, the best and worst of 2024. 70 films we've got to explore. Some made us cheer, some made us groan. Let's count them down in this podcast zone. Beelzebub, Ghostbusters, blink twice, beware. Hellboy's crooked journey's rare. Werewolves howl, our now runs wild. Beverly Hills Cop brings Axel style. beekeeper bringing the action flow. Late night with the devil gives us a fright. Wild boy kills world, keeps the chaos tight. The ministry fights with warfare ungentled. The wild robot's heart is so sentimental. Kingdom of the apes heralds purple crayon. Furiosa rides strong, her legacy staying. All the best and worst of 2024. 70 films we've got to explore. Some made us cheer, some made us groan. Let's count them down in this podcast zone. Wolf's and Gary Gromit's vengeance unfolds. Thelma's stories, one for the bold. Saturday night and Casa Bonita. Abigail's tales, a soulful Bonita. The house from gives chills, piece by piece we learn. Dear Santa's letters, the killer's sharp turn. Here and Venom, Sonic speeds by. Twisters whirl, Romulus in the sky. Oh, the best and worst of 2024. 70 films we've got to explore. Some made us cheer, some made us groan. Let's count them down in this podcast zone. Lisa Frankenstein's quirky and strange. Craven hunts while villains exchange. Quiet Place shakes, Sopranos grow. Despicable Me brings a comedy flow. Smile 2 creeps, the substance intrigues. Sting and Maxine push past fatigue. Red One's mission, Fall Guys' feet. Godzilla X Kong's world at their feet.
All right, what up, everybody? This is your boy GMillion up in this bitch, and welcome, welcome, welcome. I am all sauced up with my drink of choice, water, and I am here with a special guest. He's the white tiger of Tiger Nation in a movie theater. Introduce yourself.
D-Dog. What was it? I go by the name of D-Dog, but I'm a white tiger, so, it is what it is.
Yeah, what up, Anthony? How you doing?
Anthony, Rydrake, hello, and Sunny.
Yeah,
welcome.
Sunny, I forgot about Rydrake. I guess, he just slips in and slips right out. He's too busy slipping in inside Scott Cheetos.
Mm-hmm.
But,
hang on, let me stop watching the movie. I'm going to go straight looking at the audience there. There we go. That's better.
All right. So the premise of this show is pretty damn simple. D-Dog watched at least 70 movies last year.
Oh, yeah.
70 motherfucking movies. And he put together a list. He checked it twice, and he's gonna go over from the worst to the best of what movies were the worst and what movies were the best. And I will chime in on the movies that I've seen. I've seen some movies that he hasn't seen, and
correct.
He definitely seen movies that I haven't seen. So
but these are our opinions. These are not, factual. You can't say, but this movie was a lot better and stuff like that, and that was crap. Why are you saying that's good? These are our own personal opinions. We just want to put that there. But,
yeah,
these are recommendations, as it were.
Okay, Anthony.
Yeah.
So
thanks for the
we'll
link.
see.
Yep.
I haven't seen the list, so I heard of the list. Okay. I kind of seen a rough draft of the list, and
some of the movies are posted around me, but that's only some of them. So
yeah, I haven't seen a completed list because I wanted to be surprised. So okay, without further ado, D-Dog.
Yes.
Let's get started.
Okay.
We're gonna go from your worst to the best.
Okie dokie. All right. Let me scroll that down because I had it the other way around, but that's fine. All right. So Monkey Man was my worst movie ever. Dave Patel's direct debut, as he also starred in it. This movie, I just found it to be like a Bollywood version of John Wick. I was bored from the beginning. I had to watch it twice because I watched it for 10 minutes. You told me, no, go back and watch it. It'll be great. I went back and watched it. I wasn't impressed.
Oh, okay. Now, with me, I enjoy mindless action.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I enjoyed a lot of the action scenes. Granted, it wasn't as good as John Wick, but I wouldn't put it as my worst movie of the year. It wasn't the best movie of the year. It's very below average. Let's just put it that way.
Well, like I said, it just felt like a Bollywood version of John Wick.
Yeah.
I've watched Nobody. I've watched Atomic Blonde. I watched Cecil. I think it is the
Sisu?
Austrian one. Yeah, and I was I'm sort of like all on board for those movies, but I even watched The Continental, which was the 3-part miniseries before John Wick, and how the place was, and Monkey Man just wasn't doing it for me. I'm sorry.
Okay. What's the next one on your list?
The next one, number 69 on the list, was
Nice.
The Crow, the remake with Bill Skarsgård.
Ooh, okay.
And if I had to take it on the whole, if I had to do like the In Living Colors Men on Movies, hated it. Look, you can't, with the Brandon Lee version from the 80s, you just can't top it. Sorry, 90s, 80s, 90s. I think it was around that time. There've been many spin-offs, but they tried to reboot this franchise, and this was the second Lionsgate flop within a week, but we'll get that into a little bit later when we get to the further up the list of the chain of movies. But yeah, I'm sorry. The only decent part was the theater scene, and it's not a spoiler because they released that as an 8-minute trailer. And that was the best part. So
What up,
you
Lewis?
pretty
How's
much,
it
if you
going?
want to watch the movie, the thing, hey Lewis, how you doing? Yeah, not Dead Dog anymore, Lewis. It's back to D Dog. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely liked The Crow a little bit better than Monkey Man.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So that's why it's further up on my list. So, but it's not like Bill Skarsgård's end of his career. No, he had a lot of movies for 2024. The one where it looks like he's going to get the Oscar, but I didn't see it. We'll mention it now as an honorable mention. Nosferatu. So
That came out last year?
Yeah, it came out Boxing Day, Christmas Day. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's technically a 2024 movie. So,
got it. I thought it was this year.
Nope. That was last year, sir.
Okay.
And yet, like I said, he's up for an Oscar. And now, if they do a spin-off of it or anything like that, he's literally got 2 iconic horror things now, as being Pennywise from It, as well as Nosferatu. So yeah, good on you, Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, he's really moving up there. He was in John Wick. He was Pennywise. So
he was also in Atomic Blonde. I noticed that the other day. I was like, my father was watching Atomic Blonde. I was like, hang on, is that Bill Skarsgård? It is.
Was he the same character, or he was a different character?
Different character.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, no, he's in anything. But what was it? We'll get to. He's also my number 3rd pick, but we'll get to that further up the thing. So yeah.
Okay, 68.
68, Unfrosted.
I haven't seen this one, so this is
this was recommended to me. They say, "Oh, you got to watch this movie. It's really good. It's Jerry Seinfeld's directorial debut." Okay, so look. Jerry Seinfeld can't act. Everybody else carried him into the in Seinfeld, and now he can't direct. It was just a mess. He literally tried to set it as like how Kellogg's and oat Frosted Flakes and Quaker Oats and all the rest of it, made like Pop-Tarts back in the, I want to say the early 70s, late 60s, and tried to make it a comic thing and literally tried to have it as a, well, you know, this is the script, but go off script, you know, go improv if you want to. And yeah, it wasn't very good. And I can see why it didn't go to cinemas. It was on Netflix. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everything.
So not.
Yes, I
even
know,
worth it.
Lewis. They won't include Sonic 3 as for Oscars. Yeah, I don't think so. No,
No.
it's not going to happen.
No.
Yeah.
They see with those type of movies, they are definitely not Oscar material. So
Yeah, no.
I
But
would like.
you know what it is? Material, and this is what makes my list also the thing. How much money that makes, which we'll get to when that's why number one is number one. So, but I won't, no spoilers yet. So,
Yeah, homie. Okay, 67.
67 is Rebel Moon Part 2, Scargiver.
I
Now,
haven't
this is
seen any
the
of them.
non-direct director version of Zack Snyder's his space operas. So you haven't seen this one? This was part 2. Part 1 came out in 2023, and then in 2024 he released this one, and then 2 months later he did the director's cut of the same 2 movies again.
Yes, I remember you guys were watching that, and I'm like, well, I didn't watch it because I think I came in when you were watching part 2 director's cut.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. So yeah, we didn't want to get you as a spoiler on it.
exactly. So I dipped out during that time.
Yeah. Shout out to Mookie, because Mookie and we watched the director's cut. She hadn't watched part 1 or part 2, and she watched the director's cut. 6 hours that was of those 2 movies back to back. If you watch just the normal version, it's just under 4 hours, but 6 hours is a director's cut, and it was very uncomfortable. As I'll say it, Zack Snyder's a perv. You know, he puts sex scenes in it. That's why it's a director's cut, the rated R version. But Look, if you have other things to do, like mowing your lawn or let's see, watching paint dry. Oh, look! There's a cloud that looks like
Or
a puffy,
you're
puffy bloody.
grinding in an RPG.
Yeah, you know, yeah. Well, I'm saying do other things and things. Was it like you could probably have Rebel Moon Part 2 or Part 1 or the director's cuts running in the background if your loved one or family member or friend is in a coma. And you're hoping that they come out. That's where you use Rebel Moon. It was, look, I'm a Star Wars fan, and my friend convinced me to watch this thing. He goes, D-Dog, you got to watch this. What was it? You know, if you want Star Wars and you want to watch it a bit gritty, you got to watch Rebel Moon. So I thought, okay, I'll watch Rebel Moon Part 1. When I watched it, I said to him, I go, what the hell was that? And he just started laughing. He goes, gotcha. So, yeah.
Yeah, you just got
Moving on.
What I forgot what number we were on.
We're up to number 66, which
66.
is the third Lions Gate flop. Megalopolis. Francis Ford Coppola's opus of opera that he's been trying to make for the almost past 50 years. And he also funded it himself.
It's that bad.
Oh, well, he's not going to get that money back. It was on a budget of just under 300 million, including advertising, made 31 mil.
Jesus Christ. 300 million?
Yes. 31 mil all up. Worldwide.
What the fuck?
After 3, I know. So, okay, so like I said, that was the third of Lionsgate's flops. There was the one. So it started off with the one that's going to be actually number 65. And then it was The Crow, and then Megalopolis. Between all three movies, they made back, what was it, to a budget of almost half? No, it's not even half. No, just $700 million. With those three movies combined, they made back not even 100 million. It was about 60 million.
No, they done fucked up.
Yeah. And because of that, there was another movie that I would have watched, which was called Flight Risk, starring Topper Grace and Mark Wahlberg, directed by Mel Gibson, where it's a story about a witness that they have to fly back to, who was on the run. He was an accountant for the mob, and he's sort of like U.S. Marshals are flying him back to the court case, and because he ran off to Alaska and it's in New York, and the pilot that's flying him back is actually a hitman, which is played by Mark Wahlberg. Topper Grace is the accountant. So no spoilers. This is all in the trailer. It was supposed to come out October. It actually comes out next week.
Oh, okay.
Because of all those three movies flopping, they moved it back 3 months. There's I think a video, not documentary, but there's a video literally saying which company is going to fold first, Ubisoft or Lionsgate, where both companies were losing money right, left, and center, and they moved their prime titles back to January, February, and now Assassin's Creed. What was the one with the Asian one? What was the Assassin's Creed called again?
It's gonna come out
Shadows
in March now.
Yeah. Okay. So so they moved it from, it was supposed to be November. Then because of Star Wars Outlaws tanking, they moved it to February. And you know why they moved it from February to March?
Because the whole buyout thing.
That was partially, but who's the protagonist in Shadows?
There's two protagonists, the lady and the Black Samurai.
The Black Samurai. What's February?
Black History Month.
Yes. And there was so much backlash of them saying that they were trying to use Black History Month to promote their game, so that's why they moved it to March.
I didn't hear anything about that, but
oh yeah, no. There's talk all over the internet and Twitter about it. Well, I'm saying Twitter, I don't call it X because I can't stand Elon Musk, but that's a different story altogether.
yeah.
So yeah, but getting off track. So bring us up to number 65, which was the reason why Flight Risk and all these got moved back. Borderlands.
Oh, you watched that? Oh yeah, you did watch it.
I watched it twice because somebody wanted me to help them do a movie review for it. I had to watch a second time. Like I'm not a Borderlands fan. I only played the game once. I have friends that played the game, and what was it? I had my friend sit with me who loves Borderlands, watch the movie, and he hated it more than I did because he was not a big fan of Kevin Hart playing Roth's character. I think it was Roland. That's the character. Yeah, because he's like
Roland.
Yeah, he's like, Kevin Hart's not tall enough to be Roland. And something like that. You know, actually, Kevin Hart's character was the only one I actually enjoyed. I couldn't stand everybody else. Kate Blanchett, that's fine, but Kate Blanchett seemed like she phoned it in, and that movie was going through literally hell to make. It had gone through that many directors. Elon Roth, when he did it, when they had to do reshoots, they had to get another director because Eli was like, no, I'm doing something else. And they also did all that during COVID. So, yeah. But, yeah, no, Borderlands is pretty bad. There's one part you can see where they've left the extra in the movie, and it's actually in the trailer. It's the part where they're opening up the vault or a trapdoor for a manhole cover. And if you look at the top of the screen when the manhole cover opens up, you'll see like the extra, because none of the actors in costume could lift the cover. And they left it in, not only in the movie, but they left it in the trailer as well. So you can save yourself. You don't have to watch the movie to find it. You can just watch the trailer and go, yep, there it is. So, yeah. So Borderlands was the first one. I think it made $10 million. And it was during a long weekend as well. And then The Crow came out, and that made like 6 million. And then Megalopolis only made 30. So there you go. There were the things that literally was almost the downfall of Lionsgate Cinema. Lionsgate Cinema, the guys who launched Iron Man. So
damn.
There's the highs and lows.
64.
64. Okay. The first one, Afraid. And they use the AI from Afraid because it's AI. It's okay. John Chow seems to be doing a lot of computer movies where there was one where his daughter went missing and it was all looking from social media point of view, I think. This time, he works for a company, it's an advertising agency, and they take on an AI company that's supposed to have, like, you know, Google in your house and all the rest of it. And yeah, it's just bad, you know. The AI is a so-called killer. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
there's better movies.
Love to make AI killers, so.
Yeah, well, look, we watched one yesterday from 2019, which was a comedy. It's like Her, but it's a comedy version called Jexi, Jexi. Way better movie. So, Afraid. Yeah, I'm afraid I will never watch that again. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. 63.
63. Joker 2. I'm not even there gonna pronounce its French name of it, you know, because it's called Joker Pole à la Dux.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm butchering the hell out of that. What was it? Let me just double check that. Yeah, that's what it's called. Sure.
How do you say Joker's full name? How do you say Joker's full name?
Oh, well, actually, I could do this for you using AI.
No.
Okay, Google.
Never mind.
How do you pronounce Joker 2's movie name?
Here's some results.
You're so lazy.
I tried asking my girlfriend. She just said Arthur.
Arthur Fleck?
Hey, Ziggy. What's the name of Joker 2?
Joker, Folie à Tilde is the 16th film in the Batman franchise. It stars Joaquin Phoenix, Lady Gaga, and Brendan Gleeson. The film is 2 hours and 18 minutes long. The movie has a rating of 5.2 out of 10 on IMDb based on around 145,985 votes, and is rated R.
There we go. And yes, it was my mouth moved while Ziggy talked.
Your mouth did move.
Yeah, I know, was it? Well, that's what you get.
Me 3 or my time.
Hey, Ziggy, stop.
Your mouth did move, and
yeah. Well, what was it? That's okay. I just went into AI mode. I should have went like this. When I was in AI mode, my eyes would do this, and I would be AI. You know. So I forgot to do it. Anyway, yeah. So Todd Phillips literally didn't want to do Joker 2. Warner Brothers threw money at him, and he's like, fine. Well, you know, I'll tell you what. We're killing the franchise. And boy, did he kill it. So, yeah. That's what was my 93
The movie sucked, and I almost wanted to fall asleep. The music sucked, and...
Yeah, well, see, that was the thing. Like, you know, Joaquin Phoenix he could sing because he sang when he did the Johnny Cash movie, so he can actually sing. But I think Tom Phillips is like, no, look, just be yourself. let Lady Gaga do all the singing, because she was the only standout person in it. She tried. But I'm not a big musical fan. I didn't go and see Wicked. You guys did, but I didn't. But the music wasn't the problem I had with it. It was when we got to the court case where the actual Joker was, and it was literally previously on Joker. It would just rehash the first movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, Todd Phillips didn't want to do it, took the money. He's probably never going to work for Warner Brothers again. And that was also during the whole, because remember the Warner Brothers did Batwoman, and they also did the John Cena Looney Tunes movie called Acme. And it was during the whole Discovery taking over AT&T to buy out Warner's, and they decided, you know what? No, even though they finished Batwoman, we're going to shelve it. Acme, we're going to shelve it. And so movie directors and actors would decide, well, we're just going to boycott Warner Brothers. What's the point? You go and do a movie with them, and your stuff will never be seen. So, yeah. That was the politics behind that. Literally, all these movies had politics behind it. It's either one of two things. You either had COVID, or you had the writer's strike, actor's strike, or the wokeness that they keep saying. So, but at the end of the day, moviegoers just didn't want to go to the movies.
No.
Look at the cinema I'm in right now. Look, there's barely anybody in here. I'm counting what was it? 10, 20 heads. And now with all the reclining chairs, you can get less people in the sessions. And see, that's the other problem you have as well. When movies go more than 2 to 3 hours long, you can't have that many sessions of it. So it is what it is. That's why the box offices are tanking. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. Comment in the besides chat, you can comment in the general parts. Okay.
Yeah. And
promo. Yeah.
62.
62. All right. So back in the 70s, during Stephen King's drug-filled days, he went and saw the movie Nosferatu and thought, you know what? I can do that. And made a little story called Salem's Lot. Then they made it into a TV movie with David Soul as the protagonist. And then they remade it back in the early 2000s with Rob Lowe as a miniseries. Then they decided, you know what? New Line Cinema / Warner Brothers, we're going to put it in the cinemas in 2020. But then, I don't know, there was this thing that happened, like a pandemic of the world. So the movie sort of got put on the shelves and then sat there and then sat there and then sat there and then sat there. So it was made back in 2020, but they only released it last year because remember how I told you that Stephen King was watching the movie Nosferatu and decided he could do it?
Mm-hmm.
And then there was all that hype for a movie called Nosferatu coming out at Christmas time.
Yeah.
So Discovery Warner Brothers said, "Hey, don't we have a Nosferatu one? Let's put it out. We'll bring it out during the week before Halloween, and we'll hype it up the living shit out of it." And that was Salem's Lot with Lewis Pullman, Bill Pullman's son. Okay, 61.
Yes, please. Let's get
That's
out
all
of the
that's
60s.
all I can say about the Salem's Lot movie. Yeah, it's not worth watching. All right, you probably didn't see this because it's an Aussie movie, and it's an Aussie movie where apparently they can't even think of the title name. So I'll give you the premise of it. It's about a zombie killer kangaroo.
Okay, I remember you talking about it, and I remember the kangaroo, but definitely can't think of the title.
So the title was originally called The Red because kangaroos are normally like a reddish, furry skin, right?
You're right.
But also back in Australia during the 60s and 70s, they had a show called Skippy, the bush kangaroo. So they decided, you know what? Red's not going to really sell for the overseas market. Let's call it Rippy instead of Skippy. So now they have two titles for it. It became very confusing. And do you know what happened as well? This movie and another movie, which is further up the list, went straight to streaming everywhere else in the world, except for Australia. They forced us to go and see it in the cinemas. And the only reason why I went and saw it because it has a American actor. That was the only American actor. Well, it was the only actor which was a well named Michael Bain. You know who Michael Bain is? You know, he played Reese in Terminator. He was in Aliens and all the rest of it. He normally dies in movies, but spoiler, he survives because they were hoping to make a sequel. Not going to happen.
No.
Yeah, so Rippy was that. So that was the end of the 61 to 70s. Are we ready for number 60?
Oh, yeah, let's go.
All right. So number 60 for me was a movie that came out during Valentine's Day. And I went with my friend to go and see it. And I was like, do I need to buy you chocolates or something and romance you for Valentine's Day? Now, what Valentine's Day movie did you go and see with Squishy?
Lisa Frankenstein, but it came out a little bit before.
Yeah, it was a few days before. And my niece and my sister went and saw the Bob Marley One Love that came out on Valentine's Day.
Oh, that came out on Valentine's Day? I thought it came out in January.
Yeah, it came out the same day as the movie that I went and saw. And the movie I saw was Madam Web.
Oh, yeah, I remember this saga.
Yeah, look, everybody knows, you know, Dakota Johnson really didn't want to be part of it. She sacked her agent after the movie. You know, it was Adam Scott tried to save the movie being as Peter Parker's uncle, but they don't even mention Peter Parker. Like, he's partially in the movie because it's supposed to be the birth of Spider-Man, but they don't mention his name. Every time they go to mention his name, they sort of like somebody gets distracted. Look, this movie it's god awful. You know, the only thing you could do is make it into a drinking movie. Every time you see the word Pepsi in it with a Pepsi logo, you take a shot. You'll be drunk by the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, it was pretty much a big giant Pepsi ad.
Oh yeah, yeah. that was it. You know, which is funny because you know who, and it was Sony, because guess who used to own Sony back in the 80s?
PepsiCo.
Coca-Cola.
Oh, Coke.
Yeah, Coke used to own Sony. Oh yeah. Sony Columbia TriStar was owned by Coke before Sony decided to take over and make it themselves. So anyway, that was my number 60 movie.
Yeah, that movie was bad.
59. Oh, yeah, it was awful. 59. Back to the streaming services. Uglies, based on a book series like Twilight and Hunger Games and Divergent, I think it was. So this one was done by Mac G. Mac G, who brought us the Charlie's Angels movies. He was originally supposed to do the Superman Returns, but ended up being Bryan Singer. So yeah, he was going to make this into a trilogy movie. It's a story about kids who have plastic surgery when they reach the age of 16 to become part of the beautiful people, so they can be like influencers and models and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. So pretty much what people are doing now.
Yeah, but you know the worst bit about it is you need to get ugly people to be ugly to become the beautiful people, and it just didn't work out.
Right.
You know, if you ever watch the movie Not Another Teen Movie where they have Jenny Briggs and they go, oh, look at Jenny Briggs. She wears overalls. She's got a bit of paint in her hair. She gets glasses. And how they beautify her is they just remove the glasses and they wash her hair. And then she becomes instantly beautiful. it's pretty much the same for Uglies. I don't think it's going to see a sequel. What was it? Basically, Netflix is losing money with Rebel Moon. That's supposed to be a 6-part movie series, and we only got up to the first 2, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. They had another Zack Snyder thing, which was supposed to be a trilogy, the Army of the Dead, where that got canceled as well. And I think Uglies is the next one. So, yeah.
Yeah, like that whole Rebel Moon bullshit affected a lot of stuff that I liked.
Oh, yeah. Things got canned right left and center. And then the only other one that they got is that they're still trying to plug the living crap out of was Witcher. So Netflix is having problems.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know, what, you're going to have Stranger Days in their 70s? Stranger Things? I don't think so. All right. Number 58. Another Netflix movie. Don't Move.
Never heard of it.
Okay. So the premise of this one was a woman. Sorry. Yeah, of course it's a woman. So a husband and wife, they're slightly getting separated as one of their son died, and apparently he was learning how to rock climb, fell off a cliff. So she's going to the anniversary of her son's death. She's going on the cliff. She's about to off herself, and when she meets a stranger who runs past and stuff, says, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" and all the rest of it. So he was going to he offers her a drink of water and stuff like that. So she thinks, "Oh, this guy's kind," and all the rest of it. You know, this is going to be great. But apparently it's been drugged, or I can't remember the premise of it, because this is the part it gets the thing. No, that's right. He injects her with a thing that immobilizes, so she can't talk, she can't speak, she can't blink. Literally, she can't move. So don't move. And he's supposed to be like a serial killer, which is funny because, like, literally he didn't have to go for this whole prowess because she was going to off herself anyway. So it sort of like becomes like a cat and mouse chase thriller where she's trying to notify people, and he's like saying, "Oh, this is my sister who has a drug problem, and she's just in a comatose stage, and I'm taking her to a hospital," you know, because he's telling this to other people, he's telling this to the police. The problem I had with the movie, it just dragged on. I think that's why it was called Don't Move, because Netflix didn't want you to leave the seat and change the channel and all the rest of it. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. 57?
57. Okay. 57 is another streaming movie. So, you know how, like, they bring out 2 movies which are almost like the same, like, say, Armageddon and Dante's Peak.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not Dante's Peak. Deep Impact. Remember, it was 2 asteroids that were coming to kill the world. And Armageddon had Bruce Willis and all the rest of it. There were riggers, and they were going to destroy the asteroid that way. And Deep Impact, they had the NASA and Marines going up to the asteroid to destroy it. Then you had like Dante's Peak, which was a volcano with Pierce Brosnan. And then they had the movie Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones. So number 57's movie is called Time Cut. The prowess of it is a girl ends up travels back in time, and she has to stop a family member from being murdered by a serial killer who's wearing a mask of Max Headroom. And his choice of serial killing is a knife. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, they made this movie, again, COVID and all the rest of it. They made this movie, and it was supposed to be released on the streaming service in 2022. But it got shelved. Now, somehow Amazon got a hold of that script and made the same movie called Total Killer. And they brought it out in 2023, but they made like a comedy version where the girl goes back in time and ends up in 1984 and stops her mother and her parents being killed by the serial killer, wearing the same mask and what have you. But in Time Cut, she travels back to 2003 and has to stop her older sister from being killed.
Right. Okay.
Total Killer is the better version out of the two movies. That's why Time Cut is way down the list. It's like I said, it's like Back to the Future meets Halloween. Which is funny because in Total Killer, she's trying to explain what's happening to her, and she's explaining to the cops, and he goes, "That sounds like two bad movie franchises, good movie franchises made into a bad movie." You know, they sort of break the fourth wall there. So yeah, Total Killer is the better version than Time Cut.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember you mentioning these two movies, and I'm like, nah, not really gonna.
Yeah. What was it? I hadn't watched Total Killer. It sort of showed up on my list. And when Time Cut came out, I was like, when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, hang on. I'm sure wasn't this the same movie? Because more than anything else, it was the mask that triggered my memory for it. Literally, they could have used any other instead of Max Headroom mask. But no, they used the same mask for both killers. I was like, is this like a cinematic universe now? What the?
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
56,
56? 56. All right. Rachel Ziegler, not Zellweger, the girl that's playing Snow White in the Disney thing. She made a movie with Kyle Moody from Saturday Night Live. This is Kyle Moody's directorial debut called Y2K. It also has the big kid from Deadpool 2. And it's supposed to be setting on the year 1999 on New Year's Eve when the Y2K bug is supposed to kick in and literally all gadgets go and start becoming sentient and start trying to kill the human race.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was watching this with you guys.
Yeah.
They had Fred Durst.
Fred Durst, yes. Singer, songwriter, and director, and now actor Fred Durst.
Yes.
Yeah. Number 55?
Yes, please. Yes. Let's get it. Let's get rid of that one. Ugh.
All right, that's it. Number 55. Hello, Beans.
How you doing, Beans?
Beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. Okay. Number 55. Gladiator 2.
Ooh, it's really low on the list compared to.
Oh, yeah. That's why I had to do the slow turn to do that one. Yeah. No. Watch the first Gladiator movie. That's it. Just leave it there. Unless you want to see CGI sharks in a coliseum. How the hell did they be able to bring sharks across land into a coliseum back in early BCs before Christ was born?
Yeah. No.
Pedro Pascal and Denzel Washington, I'm glad you got a paycheck. But, Ridley Scott's never been the same since his brother died. And, yeah. So.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
54?
All right. Number 54. Trap. By
I was wondering when you're going to talk
M.
about
Night
this movie.
Shyamalan. What can I say about Trap? Nepotism. That's all I can say about Trap. It's a story of a serial killer, and the FBI is being tipped off because apparently the serial killer is going to be at this concert by a girl named Raven Knight or Night Raven. No, I forget what her name is. And the girl who's the singer is M. Night Shyamalan's daughter in real life. And the movie is almost a 2-hour slight musical because it's her at the concert singing. And she's not bad, but let's put it this way. Who did your opening intro music?
AI.
AI Suno? Yeah.
Suno, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Did a way better job than her singing. So,
Damn.
you know. Yeah. Look, she's okay. It's the kind of thing you would see across, and I know we're summing it up because, RIP for tomorrow, TikTok. So, yeah, I think, and I like Josh Hartnett because I haven't seen him for ages. I think the last movie I saw him in was Pearl Harbor with Ben Affleck, and he hasn't been around for ages and stuff like that. And he did a really good job of a serial killer, but it wasn't trying to avoid the FBI at this concert. But the music just took me out of it, and then the third act just fell apart. So, and slight spoiler, they left it for a sequel, but it didn't make enough money. It ain't going to be making a sequel.
No,
Probably will, but M. Night Shyamalan takes like a while to do. Remember, he did the Unbreakable, then Beast, I think it was, and then Glass, which was the last in the trilogy about the uncomic book hero and villains and all the rest of it. So, yeah, I think he was hoping to get that, but it's not going to happen.
No. Like, even the trailers, like, the trailer kind of looked cool, but when the movie came out, the trailer was the best part, but like I said, it was nepotism. M. Night Shyamalan just promoting his daughter, and also he can't help himself. Ever since Alfred Hitchcock would make a cameo in his movie, M. Night has to do it as well. And now all directors seem to keep after doing it. Kyle Mooney did it, and further up the list, there's another director that did it as well. So, I think the original director of Fast and the Furious did it.
Yeah.
In the first Fast and the Furious movie, he was delivering a pizza.
Yeah. The only one that doesn't do it, but which gets further up our list, is Beverly Hills Cop 3. It wasn't the actual director, but there's cameos by like 12 directors in the movie. And see if you can spot the part where George Lucas is in. But yeah. So.
Okay. What number are we on again?
Which brings us up to number 53. Speaking of directors, Kevin Smith.
Oh, okay.
Kevin Smith decides to make a slight autobiography of his life called The 4:30 Movie. It's a story about a little fat kid who goes on his first date. Hang on, off. Sorry, Gemini decided to jump in and was going to talk for a moment. I had to turn him off. Sorry, I called him Hal. That's right, because I called my ChatGPT Holly. Yeah, so it's about him going on his very first date with a girl during his teen thing. So it's supposed to be like a teen rom-com set in the 80s. And yeah. It's got the usual cast. It's got Jason Scott Lee, Jason Mewes. It even has his daughter, Harley Quinn Smith and stuff in it. So this movie flew under the radar. It went straight to streaming because of the problem with Kevin Smith's previous movie. His previous movie, I'm not even going to mention the title name, so you don't have to look it up. His previous movie was an NFT, sir. And the only way you got to see it is to outbid the NFT, and the movie becomes yours.
And let me guess, it got put online, pretty much, right?
No, the guy who got it hasn't released it, but it, from what I heard, for the people who bought the movie and then it went up the blockchain, it wasn't that good. It's supposed to be like Creep Show and those, where it's like an anthology of little horror story movies in the one movie. Like I said, I'm not going to mention the title. I couldn't be bothered looking it up. If you want, you just look up and Google, look up for Woody's daughter under the name. It was before the movie made before the 4:30 movie. You'll find it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
what number?
It wasn't bad, but it was there. That's why it was number 53. Number 52. John Krasinski directing after writing, but this time he's directing because I think he wrote The Quiet Place, the first movie, but this is not The Quiet Place. This was the fourth. 2024 was the year of Imaginary Friends movies.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so this was the second one. The first one was Imaginary. I didn't see that one. You saw Imaginary, the one with the killer bear?
Yes.
The Blumhouse movie? What'd you think of that one?
It was not that great. Pretty much there was this imaginary bear named Chauncey.
Mm-hmm.
She said it sucked, but it's pretty much like a spirit that attaches to children, and it makes you do some bad stuff, then takes you away and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it is not that good. It previews a lot better than the actual movie.
Yeah. Well, this one stars Ryan Reynolds. So you think it would, John Krasinski, Jim from The Office.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Reynolds. This movie is going to be good. A family movie. It was predictable, and what was it? About halfway through the movie, I already knew what the twist ending was.
Oh yeah, it looked like it was for kids though.
Yeah, it was supposed to be for kids, but you could take it with family because it was around the same time as Kung Fu Panda 4, which I didn't see. So, and I still haven't watched it yet. I've seen all 1 through to 3. I just haven't felt the need to go and watch Kung Fu Panda 4 because it seemed like it was going to be the same movie, which I felt like, which is where number 32 was, but we'll get to number 32 later in the list. Yeah. Which brings us to number 51 of the 50s list, Atlas, with Jennifer Lopez.
I haven't heard this movie yet, so.
Okay, so this was a Netflix one as well. Jennifer Lopez is in the future, where it's the guy from Shang-Chi. He's a killer AI. This is another AI movie.
Okay,
so
I did know this one.
Yeah, so they have to go after it, and the way that they fight the AI in this one is they use mechs, and she doesn't like technology and all the rest of it, and she's forced to bond with a mech robot called Smith, and literally in the movie, it's like will they, won't they sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like out of all the AI movies that we had for 2024, that's it just sort of like dragged out too long. Most of the leading actors were all red shirts that we call in Star Trek, so they're sort of like, yeah. So, number 50 is Killer Game with Dave Bautista. Did you see this one, sir?
No.
You didn't see this one. Okay, so what this movie's about is a hitman, Dave Bautista, who falls in love with a girl. Hang on, let me get her name. Sophia Boutella, because she was the lead actress out of the Rebel movie. So she's like a love interest. I think she's a florist or something. And so he falls in love with her, and he tells her that he's just into imports and exports, but he's a hired killer. He starts getting a headache, so he goes and sees a doctor, and the doctor says, "You've only got like a month to live." So he goes and pays his fellow hitmen to go and kill him, so he can go out on his own terms. He doesn't want to be like a blithering idiot or on life support system in the hospital, and he was going to leave her with all the money.
Mm-hmm.
So while the hit's happening, the doctor rings up and he goes, "Oh, we made a boo-boo. We had your file with another person's file. It's just a mild headache. You probably need glasses. I'd go and see an optometrist, but you'll be fine. You're not dying." So he now wants to stop the hit being happening, but because the killers can't stand his guts, decide to think so wacky things happen. But the killings are okay, but I saw a better killing movie, which is way up on my list. So that's why Killer Games is at number 50.
Oh, okay. I did hear the premise of the movie, but I still haven't seen it. So
yeah. Sir, I've got to just quickly step away. Would you like to talk about Dune? While we play a certain thing while Dune is playing.
Oh, okay. So
here we go.
Dune 2 is probably one of my favorite movies of last year. Especially the Dune 2 popcorn bucket. I use that every day in my nighttime adventures. But the movie takes place right after the first movie, because Dune 1 and 2 pretty much covers the first book, and unfortunately Dune 2 is a lot longer than the first one, so it is almost a 3-hour ride, and it's great, but it's not like great where you could see it, where you can go back and watch it like multiple times. I feel I've only seen it once in theaters in IMAX. Unfortunately, the MC will not sing about chocolate, so there's that. Definitely recommend it.
What?
Definitely recommend it. Just, to rent it for like $5 and watch it. But you guys kind of like missed out on the theater experience, to be completely honest with you.
Well, I'm back now. So I heard that there possibly might be a third one.
Yes, because
Sorry for spoilers,
they deviated from the books.
Mm-hmm.
In the books, I don't know if I want to spoil the movie, because the deviation happened at the end of the movie. At the very end.
Well, I don't think you're going to spoil it because of the passing of David Lynch, who did the first indentation of the Dune books into a movie with Sting back in the things. That's how I was introduced to Dune. And that was during COVID.
Yeah,
so
in the books, let's just say there's no holy war. But in the movies, I guess there is gonna be a holy war. And that's the big deviation from the books.
Yeah. What was it? Did you talk about what we're seeing on the screen right now?
Oh yeah, the popcorn bucket. Yeah, I use it every night.
The sexable popcorn bucket. So yeah, people are that thing became like a rare collector's item. I think, what was it, just researching for yesterday, I saw it going for almost $500 on the eBay.
Jesus Christ, used or unused?
Hey, well, that's the question. Especially when you're saying it like that. Yeah, a flashlight is cheaper than the Dune popcorn bucket. So, yeah. What was it? But and also Max, Warner Brothers and so forth, you've got the Dune Prophecy So you've got like the prequel. I think it ran for 6 episodes.
Yes, I
So,
still need to see that. Now,
yeah.
can you watch Dune 2 on Max?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't know actually where to watch it streaming services. So
Yeah.
you
No.
mentioned-
It's anything with the Warner Brothers logo is basically Max.
Got it. So guys, if you do want to watch Dune, just sub to Max, or if you have a Max account, then yeah, there you go. Or you could just rent it for like $5, $5-6 if you don't want to spend that.
Yeah. Yeah. So what was it? So yeah. What was it? Dune 2. So you do recommend it. So
I do
like
recommend
I said, I haven't got
if
around
you,
to it
if
yet,
you
but I'll
watched,
probably watch Prophecy. Yeah.
if you watch part 1, just watch
I did.
part 2. You get the completed story of the Dune cinematic universe.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, the thing that stopped me from watching Dune Part 2 was I'm still angry at because, all right, so COVID happened. I'm trying to catch up with movies that I've never seen before. I watched the first Never-Ending Story movie. Not a big fan. I watched the David Lynch Dune before I watched the thing, and then I watched Tenet and hated that. And then I was thought, oh well, at least I've got Dune to fall back on. When Dune started, and it brought up the title Dune, and then it said Part 1, I was like, wait, what? This is not the complete movie? There's going to be more? Because they never said it was going to be Dune Part 1. It just said Dune.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
that was the thing that stopped me from watching, especially where it ended, because I already watched the David Lynch, so I already knew the storyline. That was like to the part where it's going to get to the good bit. That's where it cut off, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah, pretty much like you know how they were dragging that dude's body away, that whole fight thing to join their little group, and Paul won. Yeah, Dune 2 pretty much was starting when you see them dragging the dead body away to their camp and all that stuff. So it takes place literally right after that scene.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I've got a bit of popcorn chucked in my mouth here. There we go. Okay,
So-
that feels better. Yeah. Okay,
So
cool.
yeah. So I think I want to watch Dune 1 and 2 put together. You know, it's like 5 hours though.
Well, if you're gonna do it, I'd recommend watching Prophecy, then watch 1, then watch 2.
Is Prophecy over? Like,
yeah, it's like the 6 parts is gone. Yeah.
okay, got it. Yeah, because I didn't want to wait.
Mm-hmm. So.
All right, what number are we on?
Okay, so that's all the 50s done. We're up to number 49. This is an Amazon movie with Mr. Invisible himself, who apparently is going back to wrestling and is going to do a Royal Rumble. Mr. John Cena and
Okay.
Aquafina. Oh God! So the movie's called Jackpot.
Oh
Done
yeah, this one. I wanted to
Yes.
watch this one.
Directed by Paul Feig. You remember Paul Feig?
I'm thinking. No.
He did a movie back in 2016 called Ghostbusters.
Oh,
the lady version.
The Fembusters.
Oh yeah. So he's returned back to directing since that whole thing went down. So it's okay, but I only watched it because of John Cena, and also it brings us back to, oh God, look, I'm gonna have to Google his name. It's the guy from what's it called? Shang-Chi, the Simu Liu. I should know his name. He's Canadian. He's the Asian guy. He plays the bad guy in this one as well. So this is the second bad guy he's played on the streaming service. And this is the second time he's teamed up with Aquafina because they were together in Shang-Chi, the Ten Rings. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So the premise of this one is
in Shang-Chi, so
yeah. So the premise of this one is they have the state lottery, but it becomes like the purge.
Yes.
So if you buy a ticket and you win, you have 24 hours to survive to collect the winnings for the lottery. Where it becomes like the purge. So what happens is other ticket holders will get your face, and also every hour it will beep your location. So people can come after you, and for that 24 hours, they can kill you. Murder is legal for the lottery. And how John Cena comes into it, there is a security firm that will protect the lottery winners. So you pay the security firm like half or whatever, or I think it was 30% that became half. Pardon me. The winnings, and they'll make sure that you survive. Hence the movie. That's the movie Jackpot.
yeah, it looked pretty decent. Like on the previews.
Yeah,
I have
that's
it.
why it's
I
up the
just haven't
list.
seen
So
it yet.
yeah. Well, compared to other streaming movies, like it was better than Killer Game with Dave Bautista. So, like I said,
okay, yeah, I'll definitely have to check it out.
Yeah. Number 48, and okay, we're gonna do number 47 and number 48 together.
Oh, okay.
Because one's a streaming service and one was a cinema movie. Number 47, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley, or Axel F.
Ugh.
Yeah. I can already hear the depression in the name. And that was number 47. This is not even number 48, which is even just as bad.
Ugh.
All right. What was it? I'm not even going to go for the prowess because, look, it's the same. This is like the fourth incarnation of the same movie. So, and number 48 was Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Ugh.
Yeah. Okay, so both of them, for some strange reason, it's their children now that they have to protect in both movies. Pardon me, I'm still choking on that piece of popcorn. I'm sorry, hang on, let me see if I can spit it out. Okay, that's better. Yeah, so, yeah. Number 47 and 48, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley.
Yeah, I've
Bad
only
Boys
seen
Week.
Axel Foley because, we all kind of just watched it together.
Yeah. Both movies are basically, they're just nostalgia bait.
Pretty much.
But they're supposed to be the new generation, so yeah. Nothing else I could say about it, which leads into another movie which we're going to get at number 41, but prior to that, number 43, Blink Twice.
Wait, didn't you skip 45, 46, 45, 44?
Oh, yep. Actually, I did. Sorry. Yeah, I did. Yep. I'm looking at the list now. Did. Okay. Actually, number 46. Before we get to number 43, Blink Twice. Argyle.
I was wondering when Argyle would appear on your list.
Mhm.
You weren't too impressed with Argyle. Let's just put it that way.
It was a switch and bait. The trailer made you believe that Henry Cavill, Superman, major guy, John Cena, and all the rest of it was the major characters in this movie, but it actually be what's her? Oh no, I didn't even bother putting her name.
The red-haired chick?
It's sort of like her character, and Sam Rockwell is the real spies in this movie, and she's a writer and so forth like that. I'm going to spoil it because I don't care. It was god awful. Let's put it this way: it was an Apple movie, so it was in cinemas that went to streaming.
Mm-hmm.
It came out before. It was the week before Lisa Frankenstein, so it was a February movie slot. And by the time Madam Web came out, that's when it was on the Apple streaming service, which is not the first time they do it, but there's a better movie that's up the list, so we get to that.
Oh, okay.
And what I find is strange is why is it on Apple? Because it actually links, it's part of the Kingsman cinematic universe.
So do you think like I don't remember who
Will there
did
be an
Kingsman.
Argyle 2?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. Even though that's how they left it, and to be part of the Kingsman cinematic universe, the time variance doesn't match up, and also the other problem is Samuel Jackson's in it.
Why?
So he plays a good guy in the head of an agency that's supposed to be undercover that Kathleen O'Hara and Bryan Cranston is looking for, and they use the actress in the movie to try to track down Samuel Jackson's character. But if it's part of the Kingsman cinematic universe, Samuel Jackson's character is a bad guy. It's not even the same character. So
yeah, and if it takes place before or after Kingsman 1, Samuel Jackson is dead.
yeah, so I'm just trying to remember the thing. No, actually, no, it doesn't take place before, but it is part of the Kingsman cinematic universe. I think it takes place during the second Kingsman, because the real the prequel to Kingsman is Kingsman.
Yes,
The
which
one
is
with
that movie wasn't even
Ray
that
Fiennes.
great.
Yeah. Well, that was during COVID, so yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, Argyle.
Mhm.
Don't watch it.
Okay. All right. So there's a movie currently in the cinemas right now called Wolfman.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it's not very good.
It just
I
came
haven't
out
seen
here.
it yet, but from what I heard, it's sort of like tanking your thing. If you decide you can't just stand one Wolfman, see Werewolves with Frank Grillo. You know, Frank Grillo, he was one of the Captain America's friends and ended up being for Hydra and stuff like that. He's the one that sort of starts off the Civil War in Captain America Civil War. In this, basically, again, it's the whole purge. During a certain version of the moon, like full moon, people start turning into werewolves. So they try to make a serum it's supposed to stop. So during the 20, not even 24 hours, I think it's 8 hours of the moon shining. People are thinking they're trying to stop them, but it ends up being like an like the purge and stuff like that, where wolves are running rampant. People are trying to barricade themselves in their house. It's okay, but it's nothing spectacular.
And that was 45.
That was 45, which brings us to number 44. Which, remember I was telling you about Rippy
Yes.
only being in Australian cinemas and everything else went to streaming?
Yes.
Hellboy, the Crooked Man, played it in one country in cinemas, everywhere else went straight to streaming.
And you loved this movie, apparently. You couldn't stop talking about it. And you're like, I can't wait for the sequel.
Nope. Ron Perlman will always be Hellboy for me. The guy from Stranger Things, the played the cop. What's the actor's name again?
Oh, I don't know who he was, but he was in a video game. He was in one of the
And also he was recently in James Gunn's sort of like Suicide Squad animated series called Creature Commandos. The actor's name is David Harbour.
Yes, David Harbour.
Yeah, he played the second Hellboy, which made Ron Perlman's Hellboy a lot better. But this Hellboy, with the actor, I've got his name there, Jack Keys. Jack Keys now makes David Harbour's Hellboy a better Hellboy. So it's Ron Perlman, David Harbour, and then it's this one.
Yeah, so I guess you didn't like it.
The storyline was very weak. Okay, they went for more practical than CGI, but when they did use the CGI, it was just awful. It was a mess. It was like, have you ever watched the fight scene for the first Venom movie?
Yes.
In the third act, it was the CGI is just a blur and a mess and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, crooked man. Basically, that's it.
Cool. So I think we're finally hitting 43, right?
43, yeah, we'd blinked twice, so it was already a spoiler a bit. Zoe Kravitz. Now, what can I tell you about Blink Twice without spoiling it, but to give you a bit of the storyline? I could sum it up in one word.
Okay.
The word is Diddy.
Ain't no party like a Diddy party.
Puff Daddy's notorious island white parties. Literally, it literally is like that. But replace Puff Daddy with Channing Tatum, and that's it. That's all I need to tell you. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
It was funny because we watched two movies that sort of like made you cringe and sort of squirm. They're not like horrifying or jump scares or anything, but it's just like I need to have a shower after watching this. It's basically that's how you feel, and that's why it's number 43. I did watch it on streaming, or was it? I didn't see it at the cinemas. It had a very short run. It was, I think, it was like only 3 weeks. Yeah, it was only free, and it didn't have much of the advertising. And it came out, I think, a month before the whole Puff Daddy fiasco came down, and him being arrested and all the rest of it. So
you're talking about P Diddy, right?
P Diddy, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
you keep saying Puff Daddy.
Sean Puffy. Yeah, well, that was his first name. He was Puff Daddy. Then he was Sean Puffy Combs, and then he became Diddy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, here's
he had many name changes. It was during that era, like Prince had the same thing, where Prince just had a symbol. It wasn't even a name, and then he was like a number. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So
they go through all these name changes. So yeah.
42.
But Sean Combs is his real name. So there you go. Number 42. We mentioned a certain Paul Feig earlier. Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. The sequel to Ghostbusters: Afterlife.
I enjoyed Afterlife a lot better than Frozen Empire. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, well, it was done by Jason Reitman, Ivan Reitman's son. It was in Ghostbusters number 2. But this one was not. As it'll be explained as he was actually doing another movie, which is further up my list.
Oh, okay.
So this one's done by Gil Curran. And fun fact, the whole New York City is actually England. That's the only fun fact about the movie. The problem with Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, there's too many Ghostbusters.
Yeah, like they keep bringing back the old Ghostbusters.
They brought back the old Ghostbusters, even with Janine this time. You know, Ghostbusters, what do you want? She's now a Ghostbuster. They also had the gang from the last Ghostbusters with an additional crew onto that one. And then they had another batch of Ghostbusters. with Jumanji Khalil, the Indian actor from what's it called? Silicon Valley, and it was also in the Immortals.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's one stage you literally have like 16 Ghostbusters. There's just too many Ghostbusters for one villain,
Mm-hmm.
and the villain only shows up towards the end.
Fun fact: Janine, the female one,
Mm-hmm.
she's in GTA 4.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's the
What's her name? Potts.
yeah, she's a receptionist at a taxi company in GTA 4.
I'm gonna Google her name. Somebody's probably gonna put it in the chat, but I'm gonna see Annie Potts. There we go. You liked Atlas, did you, Anthony? It was okay. But it just seemed to drag too long. Like, I love a lot of AI. I have a lot of AI, so I'm using AI. My avatar's made by AI and stuff. But yeah, I didn't think much of Atlas, so you know. But if you enjoyed it, like I said, this list is only just my personal opinion and what I have on other things, but it's still recommendations, so you know. But if you enjoyed it, good for you. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
All right, number 41 for nostalgia bait again. Not say it once, but let's say it twice. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Well, that's my girlfriend's top movie. I wouldn't say it's her favorite movie this year, but it's one of her favorite movies this year. It is definitely nostalgia bait. You have a lot of returning cast members, and
except for one, which we're actually going to talk about, and the second person who couldn't show up on the red carpet. But yeah, go for it.
Yeah, it did not have that person, but it had a lot of returning cast, so it was decent.
Yeah. So the cast member we're talking about is Jeffrey Johns, the one that played the father of Winona Ryder in the first Beetlejuice.
Mm-hmm.
He played Ed Rooney in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Principal Rooney. Now, Jeffrey Jones is not dead, but back in what was it, 2006, 2007, I want to say, Ed Rooney had a Jeffrey Jones. I'm going to call him Ed Rooney, Principal Rooney. Had a certain how could I put this? Adult erotica of the children kind.
So he was a pedo.
Yes. He was arrested. He's out now. He's gone back to movie making, but he's only in like not even B grade movies, in C grades or schlock. And he has to wear an ankle bracelet. Can't be anywhere near kid actors. So in the movie, they killed off his character. He was supposed to be died in a horrific shark accident. And the person who plays the body double, because they can't show his face, so they ripped his head off with a shark. The body double is played by the guy who played the purple Teletubby. He's running around in like this half suit. They use a voice actor for that. And the second person who's being brought up on those allegations is Danny Elfman from Oingo Boingo. So he couldn't go on the red carpet, and he did the music for Beetlejuice, as he did the movie for the original Beetlejuice. But the problem I had with it is the movie's called Beetlejuice, okay? So you're thinking, Michael Keaton, cool. Gonna see a lot of Michael Keaton. Nope. In the contract, Michael Keaton signed, as in the original Beetlejuice, it was mostly the story about Winona Ryder and all the rest of before Beetlejuice shows up. Michael Keaton's character of Beetlejuice only shows up for 15 minutes in the movie. So you're thinking, okay, the sequel, it's going to be more of Beetlejuice, or Beetlejuice in it. Nope, 15 minutes as well. And if they make another one, that's as much as Michael Keaton will be doing. He did more in The Flash as Batman than he did in Beetlejuice.
Yeah, yeah, whatever. It's not my type of movie.
Yeah. It's just basically, it's just like Axel Foley and Ride or Die. It was just nostalgia bait, but pushing the thing. And the twist in that movie, I got it from the get-go. You can literally see it beforehand. They gave the clues too much away. I don't think Tim Burton's is up to his standard. And the other thing was about Beetlejuice. It was supposed to be his Beetlejuice's first wife, which there was the Easter egg that they had in the first movie. You know, when he's supposed to marry Winona Ryder in the first movie, he gets when they say, "Oh, do you have the ring?" And it's a ring that's attached to a finger. That was Beetlejuice's first wife, which that's what they had in the second movie. And you thought, okay, well, it's going to have a lot of this dynamic and all the rest of it. No. That storyline was barely in it. They mostly used William Dafoe, which, he was also in Nosferatu. So his character was hardly around. And see if you can spot the cameo, but Danny DeVito. He was in it for like 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah. I saw him there.
Yeah. So, and he wasn't even in the credits. So
we're on 40?
We're on 40. Okay. So I'm a big Godzilla fan. I'm a big King Kong fan. And on Apple TV, they had a show called Monarch, which was supposed to be spanned over 4 generations of them chasing after Godzilla and all these different monsters. The show was great.
I still need to
watch
it.
And it led up to Godzilla X Kong, A New Empire. And I thought, great, it's going to go from Monarch to this. It's going to be fantastic. It was not fantastic. What was it? I'm sorry. When you hear about Godzilla and Kong, what do you want? What do you hear when you hear that title? What do you want?
2 giant monsters fighting each other.
Possibly even a third or a fourth giant monster.
Yeah.
It'd be fine. You don't expect the humans. You don't want to hear the human story, do you?
No.
That's Godzilla X Kong. It's that if they got rid of the human element, you don't even have a movie. You've got literally possibly a sitcom to a drama series if you add ads. It was about 30 to 40 minutes of the giant monsters fighting each other. There was heaps of them. Yeah, what was it? You had to sit through the human bullshit. So
yeah, when they were there, it was great. But when it comes to a lot of the humans, it was just kind of like, bruh, just give us the monsters already.
Yeah. All right. So, what was it? Even though I'm Canadian, I live in a little place called Australia, in the land down under. And number 39 is a remake from an 80s TV series called Fall Guy, which starred Lee Majors. It was a story about a stuntman that was also a bounty hunter and solved crimes.
Yeah, so the remake starred Ryan Gosling this time.
Yep.
Take place in Ausland.
Yep.
I don't know if the original took place in Ausland.
No. The original was always in America.
Oh, okay.
The original had a pickup truck, which they shoehorned into the movie. Basically, Ryan Gosling is a stuntman who was in love with a person who was like a second director, and now she's a major director. Was it is it Bluth? Elizabeth Bluth?
Yeah, Elizabeth
Blunt?
something. Bluff.
Elizabeth Blunt. Blunt, I know that's her last name. So she's a director this time, and he ends up being casted on her movie as a stuntman, and it has Aaron. Hang on, I'm going to get his name because he's on my list further down. Aaron Taylor Johnson. So he's the stuntman for Aaron Taylor Johnson. Who, what was it? Aaron Taylor Johnson. You know, he was Kick-Ass. He was Craven the Hunter. He was
Tangerine.
He was in the Godzilla movie, and apparently he's also in what's it called? Nosferatu, another movie. They all seem to show up in that thing. So yeah, so Aaron is supposed to be the actor, and has a bit of a gambling problem with the Russians, and goes missing. So Ryan Gosling is the stuntman, but because he can blend in and stuff like that when they're doing stunts and stuff like that, he can blend into the crowd. So he becomes the bounty hunter that's looking for Aaron to make sure Elizabeth Bluth's movie doesn't get canned by a production company. So it was okay. They overkilled the song I Was Made for Loving You, Baby Boy Kiss, which I've seen a better version of it recently in Marvel's What If.
And they did the whole love thing. Like they just dragged that thing.
Yeah. So that's why it's number 13. It's not a bad movie, but it gets a bit sappy and all the rest of it. And Lee Majors does make a cameo in the movie, so to tie it up to the TV series.
Yeah, like I got into a early premiere for free, so me.
Cool. We're at the 100-minute mark. Are we still going to go, sir, or what do you want to do?
I was thinking we'll see how we are on the 25.
Up to number 25? Sure.
And we could do 25 to 1 later if you're still, if you need to go.
Yeah, I'm up for it. As long as the audience is up for it, if they want to hear my voice again, I'm happy to do this.
Alrighty then.
What was it?
We'll do up to 25 and see how we are.
Okie dokie. All right. So we're at number 38. This one was in cinemas. It should have went straight to streaming. It's one of the Christmas movies, Red One.
We got into a early screening of that one as well, a week early. It had its moments. It had its charm, but it wasn't nothing to write home about.
Yeah, it was the Christmas MCU.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So yeah,
and even had Chris Evans in it. So.
Well, Chris Evans was the Dwayne Rock and Chris Evans shared the billing as the top actors. You had Lucy Liu, you had Nick Kroll, you had J.K. Simmons, and then the team of voice actors and all the rest of it. It had a $230 million budget and only made, I think it was 20 mil at the thing, but it was Amazon, and Amazon decided, you know what, we're going to put this in cinemas instead of going to straight to the streaming service, which I think it should have went on. And the funny thing was, it was the day it was slated to come out, which was November 9th, I think it was. It was supposed to come out with a movie which is further up my list. Here, with Robert Zemeckis and Tom Hanks. And because of Red One, they actually moved here early. So here became because it was November 9th, it became like a Halloween movie now, which sort of like, yeah. So, yeah, it was all over the place.
Got it. Yeah, it was decent.
All right. Yeah. All right, the last of my AI movies, Subservience, with Megan Fox.
Oh, God.
All right. Think of the movie Bicentennial Man with Robert Williams, but replaced by Robert Williams with Megan Fox. And then remake Megan Fox's AI like Megan, but as an adult who gets naked. Well, not really naked, but in sexy lingerie.
So, does she go around killing people?
Yeah.
So it's pretty much an adult Megan.
Yes. Yeah.
Got it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Megan was the better version.
Got it. You guys were making that comparison. That's how I remember the movie.
Yeah. But out of all the AI movies, it was one of the better ones.
Because of Megan Fox, right?
Yeah. Okay, J-Lo was in tight yoga pants in the what's-he thing, but the problem with Atlas was the story just dragged out, where this one's just a good 80 minutes. You're in and out. And so like that, you got your frills, you got your spills, you got your sexy Megan Fox. The only thing that throws me from Megan Fox is, I don't know if you know about this. Pardon me. Her thumbs.
Her thumbs are fucked up.
Oh yeah, her thumbs look like toes. I'm talking like the big toe. Once you know that, you cannot stop looking at it.
I'll have to look at it.
Yeah, and there's a prominent part where she's running her hand along the banister. You see the thumbs. What was it? Because I knew about the thumbs in the movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the first time, when she's filming the turtles on her phone, on her mobile phone. Pardon me. God damn it, it's that stupid popcorn again. Hang on. Oh, pardon me. There we go. It's out now. Okay, so yeah, so when you're watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and she's filming the turtles on her phone, you can't stop by looking at the thumb. And I think the other movie was Jennifer's Body, where that's another killer movie where she's supposed to be like put together or something or other. But yeah.
Yeah, so what I remember of Jennifer's Body was they wanted to do a ritual and they needed a virgin, but she lied and said she was, but she wasn't.
Yeah. I still haven't watched that. I've got to get around. It's on my list of things to do. I've got it on my Plex, but.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
What number are we on?
36. Now, 36 was a hard watch. So 36 is Maxine.
Oh, Maxine.
But I hadn't watched X, and I hadn't watched Pearl. So what I did was I actually watched all three movies back to back, but in chronological order, not appearance order.
Okay.
So I started with Pearl, then watched X, and then watched Maxine. And I gotta tell you, Pearl was the better movie.
So you
followed by X.
So you liked Pearl?
Oh, I love Pearl. Pearl was great. Pearl had an amazing storyline. I think, what was it? They should just leave it as Pearl and X. That's it.
I agree with you.
You don't really need
about
Maxine.
leaving it Pearl and X, but I think X had a better storyline.
No, I enjoyed Pearl way better. Pearl was a thing. And the actress in it, what's her name? Charlene Rowan McClain, where she's in all three movies. And Ty Weist, they have a chemistry. I'd like to see, even though if they do another movie together and it's not on that sort of thing, I wouldn't mind not seeing it at all. Shot in New Zealand. It was. All three movies.
Got it.
Yeah, but Maxine, it sort of fizzled out towards the end.
Yeah, I definitely liked X more.
Yeah. Which brings us to number 35, which was a little indie movie filmed in Australia, but it was supposed to be set in New York. Sting.
Okay, spider movie.
Spider movie, but not just any spider movie. Alien spider movie. I think I've got Sting. That's up in the poster. Yep, it's next. It's up in the top right-hand corner.
Yeah. I see
So
it.
what happens is it's a major blizzard in New York City. Pretty much, you can't go anywhere. You know, you're trapped in your apartment, sort of thing, or you know. And a meteorite shoots through a window and starts off small. And the creature that comes out of it is what we call in Australia a redback spider. I think you guys called it a black widow.
Yeah.
It's got like the little, it looks like a little hourglass thing on its back.
Yeah, Black Widow.
Yeah, yeah. So it starts off with that, and this little girl finds it. She befriends it. She's feeding it crickets and all the rest of it, and starts communicating with it. But unlike, you know, normal spiders, which only grow up to a certain size, this thing grows up to be big really, really quick. And it reminded me of a movie that a bunch of us watched last year called Black Friday with Bruce Campbell. During the Black Friday sale, a meteorite crash lands, and all these aliens come out of it and sort of like do a hive sort of thing. That reminded me of Sting, and how the name came Sting, because like I said, it was filmed in Australia. But the girl who finds the spider, she's a big Tolkien Lord of the Rings fan, and she names it after the sword Sting.
Oh, okay.
So that's how it gets the title there.
Cool.
All right. Next, in the it wasn't horrifying, but you just found it shocking and left you disturbed and all the rest of it. Pardon me. And the return of Demi Moore. We had to get to it sooner or later. The Substance.
Oh God. The
Body
Substance.
dysmorphia.
It started off pretty good. Let's just say.
Dude, Dennis Quaid eating the shrimp / prawns and making that mouth smacking thing. It basically sets the scene for, you're in for a bumpy ride. Strap in, kids.
Oh, dude, I almost wanted to leave. Oh God.
Yes. So basically, it's Demi Moore. She's an aging actress, aerobics instructor on one of those TV shows. And so she gets told by her doctor about a special treatment that can make her rejuvenate youth. So you think it's not like Botox or something? Oh, no. What it does, it creates a new person out of your body, and it goes through your back. And it's like a younger, sexier you. But there's a catch. It has to be 7 days on, 7 days off. And you have to swap. And you think to yourself, oh, okay, so she's become a younger version of you. She's left the husk of herself. You know, she's going to be living. No, it becomes even two personalities. They don't even know each other. So they have to leave messages for each other to communicate. And so the younger version of her now gets her job and all the rest of it's now living her life, having sex with hot young men and all the rest of it. And it let's put it this way, you have to watch it. That I'm not telling you any spoilers because that's pretty much in the trailer, but that's all you need. If and you're gonna have a stomach for it. I probably recommend either having like a light lunch and then watching the movie, or having a late supper, or having a meal and then wait 2 to 3 hours. It's like swimming. You know how they tell you that you shouldn't go into the pool straight after eating?
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much you're gonna do the same thing with this movie.
No,
so.
dude, fuck that. Watch it while eating it. Watching while
No.
eating. Yes. No. You gotta watch it while eating and see how well you can handle it.
Oh Lord. Well, all I can recommend is the audience put a protective cover over your TV because you will barf. But it was good. It was good. That was my number 34. If it wasn't for the pit in the stomach I felt afterwards, it would probably move it further up the list. But yeah.
Oh, okay, 33.
33. Okay, 33. Now, I'm going to go for the history of this one. So, back in 2013, there was a movie called Truth or Dare.
Okay.
Right? And what happens is, so you had like Truth or Dare, and it was attached to a demon. So, if you wrote Dare and you didn't fill the, do the Dare, a demon would show up and make like this huge, not human-like smile on your face. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then basically you had within, I think it was 24 hours, and you would be killed. Or people around you would be killed, or people that you love would be killed by this demon. Jump 5 years. Remember how I was telling you, like, you know, you get those movies like Armageddon and Deep Impact?
Right.
So 5 years later, a movie called Smile comes out, where a demon jumps into the body and stuff like that. Once you know about it, you have about 7 days and then eventually you're going to have this huge smile on your face, which is unhuman, but you're also seeing it through other people and all the rest of it, and then eventually you die. And then it will pass itself on to anybody you're nearby to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so number 33 is Smile 2. I hadn't
That's
seen
kinda high
Truth
on
or
your
Dare.
list.
Hey?
That's kind of high
Yeah.
on your list.
I know. And I hadn't seen Truth or Dare or Smile 1. I got introduced to this by Smile 2, and I loved it. And I'm not a big horror fan, and the way I loved it was the first 10 minutes of the movie, one camera shot. Meaning, so there's like all this action happening, and it's all filmed from one camera shot that sort of follows the action around and all the rest of it until it gets to the title of the movie. And I'm sorry, but I love those kind of movies. And that kind of thing. I've seen it done in Daredevil. I've seen it done in the show Waitress. They did it in Doom. So once I see that thing, I'm hooked. And like I said, it was the opening of the movie before the credits. So I enjoyed it. I need to go back now and watch Smile 1 and Truth or Dare now.
Okay, yeah,
Because of it.
Smile 1, it has a lot of world building. It tells you about the thing and all that and how it passes on to other people.
So yeah, like I said, you can either watch Truth or Dare or Smile 1. It basically tells you the prowess of what I just told you with the demon.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Hmm?
Okay, what's the next number?
Number 32 is Despicable Me 4.
Oh, okay. I haven't
Steve
seen
Carell.
it, so
Minions. Same movie again, but we're just up to number 4 and now they have a baby. All right. Number 31, a biopic about a certain guy who's going to be inaugurated president.
Oh, The Apprentice.
Yes. With Sebastian Stan as Donald J. Trump.
Oh,
What was
okay.
it? It's good. It's about how basically Trump was a loser by his father, wasn't really going anywhere, so he gets taken under the wing by a mogul, pardon me, a New Yorker. I'm going to let you know this now because, what was it? It's straight up. The guy is gay, and there's a lot of gay sex in this thing
With Donald Trump?
with Donald Trump, which makes me wonder because guess what Donald Trump's going to be having at his inauguration?
Gay sex?
Close. The Village People singing YMCA, and the guy who's the cop.
YMCA and similar songs on Amazon Music.
Hey Ziggy, stop. What was it? I just had to do this for that bit. Whoa, what the hell just happened there? Yeah, okay. So yeah, the cop from the Village People had to come out and made a statement. Oh Lord, hang on. What was it? No. Ziggy, stop.
Wow.
Ziggy, stop. Ziggy, stop. All right, there we go. I had to unplug her because what was it? I don't want you to get DMCA striked.
I probably did.
Well, you're not monetized, so that won't happen. But it was a
No.
It wasn't his fault. You can blame Jeff Bezos, Google.
No,
And
nothing
YouTube?
happened. Nothing showed up on
Yeah.
the
on YouTube side. Yeah, we're still
nothing showed
still
up on
streaming.
YouTube.
So so yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna say the cop came out and said that song's not gay. We're not gay. It's not a gay anthem, but we all know it is. Anyway, so getting back, that was The Apprentice. Like I said, it answers a lot of questions. So
Oh, okay.
that was number 31. Number 30 is a movie I saw. What was it? So we talked about John Krasinski with the movie The Quiet Place. So
Right.
this is The Quiet Place Day One.
Ooh.
Now I saw The Quiet Place. I haven't seen Quiet Place 2, but I did watch this one. And I like the premise of it because, again, this explains how John Krasinski's family knew about how the creatures go to the whole sound thing and all the rest of it. And as one person calls it, I don't know what we call the aliens, but there was a streamer that was playing the game called The Quiet Place, and he called the aliens The Quiet Place. And he kept yelling in the game, "Hey, Quiet Place, we're over here." Pardon me. So, yeah.
It was okay.
It's got a bit of a love story in it, but yeah, it's got a bit of a heartwarming twist towards the end. A bit of a tear-jerky thing, but yeah.
Yeah. Here, my problem was I haven't seen the first two Quiet Place movies, so seeing this one.
Well, now you're watching it in chronological order if you do the Day One.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
So you're the same way I did Maxine because I hadn't watched those movies before, so I watched in chronological order. It was like how I tried to get a friend of mine not to watch Star Wars 4, 5, and 6 when the first Star Wars episode 1 came out. I said, "Look, no, don't do it. Watch it in chronological order, and then we'll talk and see how you feel." What was it? By the time was it Attack of the Clones came out, she watched 4, 5, and 6. And then she goes, "I ruined it. I'm sorry." And I was like, "Well, you did what you did. So that's fine." All right. Number 29. Another of the imaginary friend movies. Your Monster.
Oh, okay.
No, Your Monster. So imagine like the first imaginary movie, which was Drop Dead Fred with Rick Mayer. Have you ever seen that one?
No.
Okay, so basically it's about this girl. The woman was in her 30s. Her boyfriend's left her. She's lost her job, and her life's falling apart. And when she was growing up, when she was a little girl, she used to have an imaginary friend named Fred, by Rick Mayer. And what was it? Her mother, played by Carrie Ann Fisher or Princess Leia, made her go and see a psychiatrist who gave her meds, and her imaginary friend went away. So she's depressed. Her life's on the road, all the rest of it. So that's when her imaginary friend Fred shows up again and makes her do strange, silly things like throw a cat into a tree, and some other stuff. So imagine that, but a little bit darker. So in Drop Dead Fred, Rick Mayer was just Rick Mayer in a green sort of like suit, but with shorts instead of pants and all the rest of it. But in Your Monster, imagine the imaginary friend was the Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
I remember watching parts of it with you guys.
Yeah. So it's like that. It's like Drop Dead Fred, pretty much beat for beat sort of storyline, but with a hell of a twist at the end. A hell of a twist that you just did not see coming. So that's why it beats If. Yeah, like I said, I didn't see the Imaginary, but yeah, it's way up that list.
Got it. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check it out.
Yeah. All right. So this is a movie that we watched recently because I only got to see a screener last year, April, called Villains Inc.
Villains
by
Inc.
Jeremy Warner, who makes a cameo appearance because, all directors need to show up in their movies, just make it a thing. Stars Colin Mockery and another bunch of Canadians and other actors from Whose Line Is It Anyway? So if you...
what's the premise of Villains Inc.?
Okay, so have you ever seen the movie Mystery Men with Ben Stiller, William H. Mays, and
I don't remember seeing
Kel
that
from
movie.
Kid and Kel, and gotta forget what the actress's name is. Anyway, so basically, it's about these superheroes that like low tier grade superheroes. All right, that was Mystery Inc. Now, Villains Inc. are the henchmen this time for basically supervillains, but they have no powers and all the rest of it. And what happens is their leader gets killed, and now they have to defend for themselves, and they wanted to start up their own business, and all they know is being a henchman. So that's the prowess of it. And like I said, it's got a whole bunch of cast from Whose Line Is It Anyway. Unlike the Jerry Seinfeld movie, the spontaneous acting and the off the cuff and are basically what I'm looking for. Improv works a lot better in this movie.
Awesome.
It had a very small showing. It made Cannes Film Festival, but like I said, it took almost 9 months before it became on streaming. But I loved it because I'm a big superhero being a fan and stuff. Like I said, I went and saw all the movies. I went and saw Deadpool. I went and saw Madam Web. I saw Craven. I saw Venom. And that's why I wanted to see Villains Inc. So, yeah.
Yeah. So what number are we on now?
Well, that was number 28. Number 27, Craven the Hunter.
Oh,
there
wow.
we go.
I'm surprised this is high on your list.
Yeah, well, look, I had two comic books when I was growing up, Spider-Man and Batman. So Craven the Hunter was part of the Spider-Man universe. So that's why I went and saw Madam Web instead of seeing Bob Marley's One Love. My mum was a big Bob Marley fan. That's why my sister went and saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll go and see this movie. I'm going to see Captain America, the Brave Order. No, New World Order. They've renamed it now to the Brave Order.
Oh, they did rename it.
Oh yeah. They've renamed it because of Trump and all the rest of it. I enjoyed Ant-Man and Wasp, the Quantum Universe, so Quantum Mania.
That one's okay.
I will sit through the whole entire MCU and all the rest of it. So I'm pretty much prepared. I've now got to binge The last of Netflix after Daredevil season 2, all the Daredevil season 3, Punisher, Iron Fist.
Wait, they made a season 3?
Of Daredevil, yeah.
Oh, okay, I only seen up to season 2.
Yeah, I know. That's where I got to, but no, there was a season 3. So I got to watch a Punisher, Jessica Jones season 2, Luke Cage season 2, Punisher season 1, Iron Fist. I think I watched the Iron Fist season 2 because I think that came out after Defenders. But I've got to watch all those now before Daredevil Reborn in March. So
they're coming out with another Daredevil.
Yeah, no, it's Reborn now. Yeah, so basically
Is it
because
gonna be on Netflix,
all those
or?
were Netflix, so they were R-rated, and this one is going to be more PG M-rated.
Got it.
Yeah, because it's a Disney one now and not Netflix anymore because Marvel took all their stuff back. They're taking back all their toys. So, yep. Kraven the Hunter. Not bad. Because Sony don't have the rights to the full Marvel series, so you can't say mutants.
You can't say Spider-Man.
But and you can't even mention Spider-Man. The hinting of Spider-Man's in it, and the hinting of mutants are in it. So if you're a Marvel comic fan, you'll somewhat like Kraven the Hunter. There's a one part where the guy plays Rhino in it. He looks like he's dry reaching for some strange reason. He just makes a sound go. Ah! Hang on, let me do it with the eyes. Ah! So, but yeah, it just takes you out of the movie. You can't stop laughing. The whole cinema just cacked themselves with that guy when he did that. So, all right, number 26. Lisa Frankenstein, the one you went and saw.
Wow, that's actually pretty high on their list.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a decent movie.
Yeah. I like to put I think Lisa Frankenstein and what was the other one? Your Monster pretty much are on par with each other.
Yeah, you watched it not too long ago because I remember watching it in the background while you were watching it. I think I was playing.
So you want to tell us the prowess of Lisa Frankenstein?
Yeah, so pretty much some chick named Lisa finds something in the woods, and she brings him back, and she revives him and all that, and throughout the movie she's reviving him.
What was it? Don't forget, so what happened was her mother gets killed by a serial killer, and she gets adopted into a family which are like, I want to say like Christian based, but they're very, very weird. And it's sort of set into the 80s. Pardon me. And of course, it's like Harry Potter or Cinderella. So she's not really accepted into the family. They sort of have her there, but they don't really care about her. And so she's left at home during Halloween one night, and a major storm happens. And that's right. Prior to that, she has no friends and so forth like that. And she makes up an imaginary lover of a person that's buried in a tombstone. And it gets struck by lightning, and the person in the tombstone, which was apparently dead in the 1800s, comes to life and sort of tracks her down. Like I said, it's like it's like a horror rom-com more than anything else. I would probably put it down to.
Yeah, more calm than
than horror.
Yeah, than horror. But
you still have that horror element in it.
Yeah. Okay, 25.
All right, 25. Which we get in the list. Alien Romulus.
Ooh, okay. I didn't think it would be this low on the list, but go ahead.
All right. It was okay. It was that's why it's in the top 25. But it's okay. So it's set place after the first Alien movie with Sigourney Weaver, and it takes you have in the way of the Alien movies. It starts with Prometheus, Covenant, Alien, Romulus, then Aliens. So that's the timeline. What was it? Ridley Scott can't stand Wes Anderson, so he doesn't want the whole Alien Predator crossover. As far as he's concerned, it doesn't exist in that universe. So in Alien Romulus, it's the what's his name? The Weyland Katark and companies are sort of like dominating the universe. You basically either you work for the company or you get nothing. So these band of misfits decide that they're going to raid a ship to make their money, sort of thing.
Right.
And they come across a derelict ship that's floating out, I think, but it's got massive cargo that they're going to make heaps of money. So they go to raid it. And that's when they come across, like I said, so this was after the first Alien movie. So this is before Alien. So they've already started shipping the xenomorphs and the face huggers. But they don't know about that. And so they come across this ship. And it was okay and fine until they had a CGI Ian Holmes who played the robot in the first Alien movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like they could have used Lance Henriksen as Bishop in this one because Ripley only gets introduced to Bishop in Aliens, and they were saying, and literally he said, "Oh, she had the previous model, pardon me, on the ship with Ian Holmes, but he was defective. That's why they replaced him. I think so. They could have had Lance Henriksen, pardon me, in this movie, but they decided no, we're going to go for a murky CGI version of Ian Helms because I think Ian Helms was sick. He did pass away while this movie was being made, so they had to use his likeness and a voice actor.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know any of that.
Yeah, and so they have the robots played by African American actor. Hang on, let me get his name. So the problem that threw me out of the whole thing was that character was fine because because he's a robot. They use a dual chip, and they use Ian Helms's chip. I'm seeing now why they use Ian Helms's character. David Johnson with two S's was the guy who played the robot. He plays Andy. So in one part he's evil, and then when they replace the chip, he goes back to being good and all the rest of it. But the problem I have with it is he uses the iconic line from the Aliens movie. So he's saying a line that hasn't even been used yet. So now it's him that is quoted the phrase, not Sigourney Weaver. And the line is, "Get away from her, you biatch."
Oh, okay.
So I hate it when they do that. It just takes it from the movie. So that's why it's way down my list. It would have been further up my list if it wasn't for the Ian Helms CGI or what was it, the line from the movie. It just basically stuck in my claw. So I just couldn't handle it. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we are going to pause the list from here. I am getting a little tired.
Sure.
2 days without caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
That will do it to a person. Um, some of the stuff that I've been watching this year, not just I watch a lot more than movies. So I watch a lot of TV shows. I watch a lot of anime. Just finished up Mashal, Magic and Muscles.
Yep.
That was actually pretty decent. That was season 2. We watched Windbreaker. That was pretty good. It's a good fighting anime. Viral Hit. That's another good fighting anime. There was 2 good fighting animes this year. That was pretty good. But Windbreaker was the better anime. And as far as TV shows go, for me, mainly Silo. I finished that up this week. That was pretty good. It started off in October-ish, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, October or late November, I don't know. Whatever 10 weeks ago was. So it's a good Apple show to get into. It's based off a book.
Yeah.
Other than that, a lot of movies this year, not really that great. I've also seen Terrifier 3. I don't know if that's on your list.
No, I started watching Terrifier 1. And I got through that and I was like, that's not too bad. It's sort of like took me a while to go through Terrifier 2, and I haven't finished it, and that's why I didn't watch the third one. Which I found out the third one's a Christmas movie.
Yes, it is a Christmas movie. So Terrifier 3 is a continuation of Terrifier 2. Well,
yeah.
They're in a way they're all pretty much sequels, but like
within a week spanning, I think it's supposed to be.
Yeah. I think it's more like 5 years spanning.
Well, I know Terrifier 1 and Terrifier 2 were within a week.
Yeah. But like,
even though like they were made way between each other, but
because I think the main character was saying, "Oh yeah, I had to deal with this shit 5 years ago, blah blah blah." And
okay, yeah,
and he, Art the Clown came back during Christmas instead of Halloween. If you think certain parts of the substance is gross, there's certain parts in this movie that are pretty gross too. So just going with that. People were throwing up in the theater when it comes to certain stuff, and it was decent. And I've also seen the movie The Deliverance. It's a demon movie. One of the characters from Stranger Things was in it, the black kid. I forgot his name.
Oh, okay.
So if you want a good haunting movie and all that, it's a Netflix movie, so that's pretty good. As far as my top picks, I'll save that for next week. So this will be part 1, and we're gonna go through your 24 to number 1. But we hit a big dent in your list.
Yeah, we got through most of it.
Yeah, so we got through most of it. Next weekend I could probably stay up more. I have to get a bunch of overtime this week, so that's why I have to go to bed early, and that's why I couldn't drink caffeine for a couple days. So
well, I gotta go and get my meds, so
yeah,
that too. I'll let you wrap it up while I leave the cinema here.
All right,
here I go. Yep, it was a thing, but thank you for having me, sir. It was great. This is enjoyable. I haven't done this for a long time. Whoops, here I go. I'm out. Gotta take my popcorn with me.
Yeah, so next week, we will get together a time, and I'll get the time correct this time. So, it was supposed to be today, not tomorrow. My bad. Thank you, Anthony, for joining. Thank you, Beans, for joining.
Thank you, Lewis. Thank you for joining. Drake. Thank you,
Drake,
even
the
Sunny.
Lurker. Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
I've been watching your Scott Cheeto videos. Gold. All of them are gold. Yeah. And not tomorrow, but next week we will continue and we will get this list done. All right.
We will indeed. What was
Please,
it? I'm talking from the hallway.
please, and like the stream, follow me, and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you later.